All right, I think I'm recording. Hopefully I am. Well, welcome to Rookie Mock Draft 4.0. Well, I guess this is the second one that's really in depth, but yeah, we're doing 2 rounds today. This is very highly anticipated mock draft. Thank y'all for the great support on the first one. It's great hearing your feedback, and we're a week out from the draft now. Very exciting stuff. And we had a lot of trades recently. Definitely changed some strategies for a few teams and how the board falls going, through the first round. And because there were so many trades, and the completionist attitude in me, I decided to do a full 2-round mock. Just talk about some more prospects, so it's not the exact same video as last time. And this time for the prospects I did talk about in the last video, I'm gonna get more detailed into their landing spot instead of the actual prospect themselves. I will begin into some of that as well. So without further ado, with the first pick, Weber 316, of course, selects Najee Harris, running back, Alabama, now on Steelers. He's just you can't go wrong with this pick. True 3-down running back. He has essentially no competition really in Pittsburgh. Benny Snell and Anthony McFarland aren't going to really compare to him. So, yeah, Najee's going to take that whole thing over. The line is a concern, but just the pure volume he's going to be able to get in this offense, which was primarily a passing offense last year, but that was just because of the lack of ground game. They'll muster something competent up in the, as far as the line goes. And Najee is going to be he's going to be a top 2-round running back or top 2-round pick in redraft leagues for sure. There just aren't many 3-down running backs out there, and just in the NFL in general. And he's probably the only one in this draft class. So yeah, he's a consensus no-brainer number 1 pick. Weber 316 as yet another piece to the arsenal at running back that could, if his running backs were nukes, we'd all be dead. We'd all be dead by now. And second pick, I am staying with Travis Etienne. I am not my mind isn't completely made up yet. This could change, but for right now, I'm going to stick with Travis Etienne. I love the explosiveness. The landing spot, I have mixed feelings about. Sure, James Robinson, to a lesser extent, Carlos Hyde is in the way, but I'm not too worried about Carlos Hyde. But James Robinson is in the way, but that's an old regime. This is a brand new regime. They drafted their dude at running back who is explosive. Sure, well, he will probably be only getting 3rd down duties at the forefront. You're looking, a couple years down the line, even potentially this year, he is going to be the lead back there. And that the explosiveness and the, I don't think the familiarity of Trevor will, play much of a factor in the run as far as a running back goes. But yeah, that might play something. Look, this team invested a 1st-round pick in him. That speaks volumes. And with that, we'll create more volume for him. So, look, absolutely explosive player, gets compared to Alvin Kamara quite a bit. I don't personally see that high of a ceiling, but, I got to take this. I do see some comparisons between this class with, like, the running backs and the 2019 class, where this class you have Najee, Travis Etienne, and Javonte Williams was the no-doubt consensus top 3. 2019, if you remember, had Josh Jacobs, Dave Montgomery, Miles Sanders. If you slot Josh Jacobs into the Najee Harris role, not only are they both Alabama running backs, but they're both the consensus top guy. You have that. You have the explosive guy, Miles Sanders, a.k.a. Travis Etienne. And then you have, like, the guy who breaks a bunch of tackles, Javonte Williams, a.k.a. Dave Montgomery. I tried a Dave Montgomery experiment. Didn't work out too well for me. That's not saying I won't draft Javonte Williams, because I might, maybe with this next pick. Who knows? But yeah, I think I'm going to stick with Travis Etienne. My mind has not been made up yet, though. So for my third pick, Jamar Chase. Yeah, I got plenty of receivers already, but the T. Higgins stock did go down because of this guy right here that I am going to add to my team, I think. But like, I look at this guy. I've watched him for a couple years, and I mean, just the 1 year on loop. But like, this dude is as a blue chip player as you can find, and when I can add chance to add, best player available like this, I can't pass that up. Where like, maybe you could say Kyle Pitts might be the best player available technically. I just have no need for 3 tight end ones on my team. Where like, if I can pair Jamar Chase with his college teammate in, just fantasy wise, Justin Jefferson, I could potentially be set 10 years there. And I have a good rotation of other dudes too. I can't pass up on Jamar Chase. He's just too good of a talent, and he's just my guy. I like him. So fourth pick, we had a trade up. Timmy traded down from pick 4 to pick 7, and picked up a 4th round pick. A highly questionable decision in my opinion, but yeah, Timmy does Timmy. And that means Bobby gets to come up and get his guy and Kyle Pitts. He gave up Travis Kelce earlier this offseason. He gets the chance to, bring in a tight end 1 to Steel Valley Mish. It's a home run pick. Can't go wrong here. He goes 4th pick in our Broken Skull draft. He went 4th pick in the NFL draft. He's an absolute perfect prospect for this team. There are starting too many guys that come along like him, and I've alluded to that in my last video. But like, fills a perfect need that Bobby really needed to fill, because I think his only tight end on the roster at the moment is Robert Tonyan, which I like Robert Tonyan as a backup, but like, Kyle Pitts, he's gonna be your guy for a while. So pick 5 is where things get a little interesting. I think the first 4 picks are sort of set in stone. I might have a little wiggle room. We'll see. But pick 5, I have Pele going with Devontae Smith, wide receiver at Alabama. Now the Eagles. Look, Jalen Hurts needs some guys to throw to now. Sure, they drafted Jalen Reagor last year. He'll be part of that mix too. But Devontae Smith in his college career, has thus far been a target hog. And the only reason we really slid down this far was because just, his size, and there's skepticism about that. And that's the reason he slid in the draft too. But he's going in a situation with the Eagles where he's going to, be the number 1 target essentially day 1. He's going to get a lot of targets. He has some familiarity with Jalen Hurts. Hard to go wrong with this pick. Pele could generally use help around the roster in general. He has no dire needs, but like, he's positioned to pick best player available, and I believe Devontae Smith is, just as far as pure long-term potential. He probably is. So then we have pick 6, which I have Bobby going Javonte Williams. The consensus, 2nd or 3rd best running back in the class. It's a bit of a weird situation in Denver. Like, not weird, because like, Melvin Gordon will be gone at the end of the year. He might even be gone by training camp. We don't know really. But like, Denver has never drafted a running back this high in many, many years. He's going to be the guy going forward. The Royce Freeman experience isn't working out. Philip Lindsay's gone. It's the Melvin Gordon, Javonte Williams show for 2021. And yeah, Javonte brings a lot to the table. Just a pure bruiser, but has some speed too. Yeah, hard to go wrong with this pick. He's getting the last of the consensus top 3 running backs here. Fills a definite need on Steel Valley Mission's roster. Gotta give this pick an A. 7th pick, I have Timmy going with Jalen Waddle. This was just a best player on the board situation. Timmy could use another running back. But Jalen Waddle is just too good to pass up. Sure, he is known for his speed, and he's going to a interesting kind of Miami receiving core. You got Devontae Parker there. You got Will Fuller. Yeah, Jalen Waddle in the mix. I still love my guy Preston Williams, but I don't think he's getting a shot. Jakeem Grant. They have a lot of speed with a quarterback who has questionable deep accuracy. But he does have familiarity with Tua, so that is a bonus. And yeah, he's a pure speedster, but has the physicality to his game. You see him here just kind of running around people, but like you can tell he could shave off some blocks too, or some tackles rather. Yeah, this is a situation of best player available. Even though he probably could use a running back more, he can't pass up Jalen Waddle if he falls to you here. So I think that like every mock draft I look at, as far as Dynasty rookie mocks go, these 7 guys I just mentioned, are the dudes. Here on out, it gets a little interesting. 8th pick, I got Tim going with Michael Carter, running back out of North Carolina. He went to the Jets. Sure, he was picked in the 4th round, which really is a big reason why he is, I don't consider him in the top tier of the draft. But like he was picked in the 4th round. He was behind Javonte Williams there in North Carolina, but he still got stats. Pull up my handy dandy spreadsheet here. Where are you, Mr. Carter? Sorry for this awkward moment video. Yeah, he got 25 catches, 156 carries, 1,245 rushing yards, and 267 receiving yards. And that's in a shared backfield. So, and the numbers are impressive. The draft position could be better, but you look at what the Jets have in the backfield. It's like Tevin Coleman. It's like LaMichael Pirine. That's really it. And I wouldn't really lose sleep over either of those 2 guys. So, I think Michael Carter has a chance to take over his new look backfield, new regime. They want to draft their guys, and they already brought Tevin Coleman over. And this offense is coming from San Francisco. They brought Tevin Coleman over from there. You bring in Michael Carter, who's going to be their guy. He has the opportunity to play a lot of meaningful downs for the Jets. So, I think it's a solid pick. So pick 9. This pick doesn't change. Rocco, I got you Trevor Lawrence. He is also in that like consensus top tier, but just the way like we have a weird 8-team league, the Dynasty rookie mock drafts, many don't seem to follow that. So quarterbacks tend to get like pushed higher in some of the bigger leagues. But I think this is just a spot too good to pass up. Rocco has a bit of a need at quarterback. You get the consensus top 1 on the board. You can do everything. He's already the Jacksonville Jaguars starter. You don't have to worry about him, having to beat somebody out like, maybe Justin Fields or Trey Lance, and Zach Wilson. Like, you could potentially take him here, but I think you're just better off taking the sure thing in Trevor Lawrence. So pick 10, we got me. I am picking Trey Sermon, if maybe potentially, just like because I did pick Jamar Chase at 3, and I do have the dire need at running back. Trey Sermon goes to a situation where, yes, it will more than likely be a running back by committee situation, but they use third-round draft capital on him, which is pretty decently significant. And Raheem Mostert, he's going to be, I think he's 30 now or 29. They drafted Elijah Mitchell this year. I'll talk about him maybe a little later, but that was like a 6th-round pick. Jerick McKinnon's gone. I mentioned Tevin Coleman's gone. He could very easily be a major guy in this offense. And yeah, we've seen him all watching these LSU games. Like, sure, he really didn't do much throughout the brief regular season that OSU had, but like those playoffs, he was one of the best running backs you could really ever see. And just some of these performances, like, look at these highlights, dude. Come on. And Kyle Shanahan, he's not drafting a running back this highly and not have a plan for him. So I think that's kind of where my head's at with this. Again, my head's not set in stone with this yet, but it's an appealing option for sure. Like, he has it all. He has, good enough speed. He has a ton of power. He's do it all potential back. Just the situation is very boom or bust. 11th pick, I got Johnny Gill and Rashad Bateman, who is kind of like the consensus top of the second tier of prospects. He just goes to a very questionable situation. He gets compared to like Keenan Allen a lot. You look at the frame, he's I believe 6'1". And he had a weird year this past year with a COVID opt-out for some of it, and then he came back for a couple games and did okay. He only played 5 games, had 36 catches for 472 yards, 2 touchdowns. But through 5 games, that's not horrible. In earlier seasons, he did have generally better stats. I do not have those handy at the moment. But, he goes to a situation in Baltimore where, you are worried about Lamar's ability to throw the ball. But, like, he hasn't had that, like, young, physical receiver they can grow with. Like, you look at his success with Mark Andrews. Like, Mark Andrews is a tight end 1. So, like, Lamar can throw the ball. It's just, like, Marquise Brown's skill set isn't necessarily working. It's necessary in the offense, but, like, it's the chemistry, and like he requires a big body dude who can make some of those contested catches. Rashad Bateman can very much do that. So yeah, with that and the 1st-round draft capital, you are a little worried about Sammy Watkins, maybe. But yeah, he's coming in here. He's going to be a starting receiver pretty much day 1 probably. And yeah, you have to like a lot of what you see. So we go to the 12th pick. I have Natty Daddy selecting Kenny Gainwell, which you see Eagles running back, which might raise some questions to you, because like it did to me at first when they drafted him. But then I thought, like, yeah, Miles Sanders is a fine 3rd-down running back, but like you get a dude like Kenny Gainwell to get in on 3rd down. And this is I said in my last video. Sorry, I ended up looking at Jake Funk's stats. 51 catches, which was by far the leader in the NCAA last year. Or in 2019, he opted out last year. Won the highest touching, like he had more touches than like anyone on the list. Like I said, most catches. This dude is and averaged how many yards per catch? 11 yards a catch, or 12 yards a catch, which is, on the above average side. So he's a dude who can handle a lot of volume. He's a dude who can catch the ball very efficiently. You could put him at wide receiver even. This this team doesn't have a ton of great receiver options. So he's a very versatile player. And while like he may not get like the full workload of running back touches that Miles Sanders will probably still be getting, you can expect a decently healthy workload from Kenny Gainwell, even if he was picked in the 5th round. I just believe in the talent personally. No, so that's my 2 cents on that. But like, yeah, I really believe in Kenny Gainwell's ability to be able to gain well, if you know what I mean. So 13th pick, I got Pele selecting Rondale Moore, wide receiver at Purdue. I originally had him going to me at 10. The landing spot's interesting. They have a couple decent receivers there behind DeAndre Hopkins right now. And Christian Kirk, AJ Green. You got Andy Isabella. Getting someone, I think. But yeah, you had Rondale Moore in this mix, who, just an electric playmaker. He could kind of great route runner, great run after the catch. I mean, he's only like 5'8", so he's not going to go up and be that physical guy for you. But that's what you have DeAndre Hopkins for. But he could be a very quality number 2 receiver in Arizona, and can grow with Kyler over time. And it's decently high draft capital. This I could see Kingsbury doing some, doing some really gadgety kind of things with him too. He can handle the absolute workload on offense as he has done at Purdue. If DeAndre Hopkins ever got injured or something. So this pick, I think, makes sense. A lot of sense. So 14th, we got Bobby selecting Elijah Moore. He is one of my favorite prospects all around, you gotta say. This dude had just absolutely blew some of my metrics in my spreadsheet, just absolutely off the charts. He had 100 touches last year in only 8 games. Like 1,250 yards, 8 touchdowns, which, a touchdown a game, you'll take that. His touchdowns are kind of fluky. But, like, he's going to a jet situation where, you have Denzel Mims. I'm hoping he develops as a physical guy long term. You got Jamison Crowder as, a veteran slot guy. I am forgetting somebody big there. You had Elijah Moore into that mix. He's your day 1, 3 or 4 receiver there, or at the bare minimum. And he's only gonna. They spent the 2nd pick in the 2nd round on him, so he's almost a 1st round caliber player. He ran a 4.38 in the 40. This dude has all the potential in the world. He's a great route runner. There's a lot to like about him. It's just will the Jets get it together, really? It's just really the only gamble. But I like Elijah Moore a lot as a prospect. You just have to, account for a few things with him. So pick 15, we got Terrace Marshall going to me. Yeah, I like LSU receivers, so it's no secret. But I really didn't look at the helmet. That's just kind of the way the board fell. He has 2nd round draft capital. I don't know why this video isn't playing. But, very solid route runner. Not going to blow you away. But the situation was pretty interesting. So currently, a lot of targets were vacated because of Curtis Samuel leaving Carolina this past year. So they needed a 3rd receiver upgrade. Terrace Marshall, day 1, comes in, is that guy. Not only that, but Robbie Anderson's contract is up after this season. Will they resign him? Maybe, maybe not. You got DJ Moore there, who's obviously going to be the #1 target outside Christian McCaffrey. Tight ends haven't really ever been a factor in their offense. Since Greg Olsen, really. Ian Thomas is fine. But like, yeah, Terrace Marshall, he can. He's cool. Yeah, he's a fine receiver. I'm not honestly not crazy about him, but like I like his situation. I trust his ability to not completely bust, but to be decently reliable. For 7 games, had 48 catches, 731 yards, 10 touchdowns. So yeah, pretty solid pick. I don't know. I'm not too crazy about it, but if the board fell, I might take him. Then we have pick 16 with Cold Stone Cream Austin selecting Kadarius Toney. This is just a situation of best player available. For some reason, I don't see Tim really liking Kadarius Toney. I don't know, just a hunch. But I talked about him last video. I mean, absolute speedster, a little on the small end, but that's all right. He's given the situation, drafted pick 20 overall. He's going to be, #2 receiver day 1, more than likely. Maybe, actually. I don't know. He's going to a bit of a different receiver room because, like, they just paid Kenny Golladay a bunch of money this offseason. He's obviously going to be their #1 receiver. Then you just spend first-round draft capital on Kadarius Toney, and you still have most of your guys from last year, with exception of Golden Tate. You have Sterling Shepard's there still, Darius Slayton. He's still hanging around. And they signed John Ross too. That's fun. But Kadarius Toney, he's going to be given every opportunity, and he has a electric playmaking ability. They're trying to surround Daniel Jones with a bunch of weapons in New York. I like his chances. I wouldn't say he's a guarantee, great prospect, but there's a reason he's going to the end of the 2nd round here. But he has a lot of opportunity ahead of him, and good enough skill set to get it done. And then with the 17th pick, the consolation winner pick, I have Johnny picking Dyami Brown, wide receiver North Carolina, to the Washington football team. He is, he's another speed guy. A bit more of a do-it-all player, though. Had 55 catches, 1,100 yards, 8 touchdowns through 11 games last year. They primarily funneled their passing offense through Dyami Brown. And Sam Howell is going to likely be a top 5 pick, their quarterback, next year. He's going into a situation in Washington where, they have Terry McLaurin, they have Curtis Samuel. Curtis Samuel will be doing a lot of gadgety stuff. He'll be in the slot. Terry McLaurin, he's going to be, your X receiver. But who's that other guy? That's Dyami Brown. Dyami is dynamic. Before I really ever looked at his name, I thought it was Dynami Brown. Like, damn, that's a dope name, but no, it's Dyami. It's pretty good draft capital. Significant opportunity. He's gonna, get the call day 1 to, step in, be that 3rd, 4th receiving. I guess 5th receiving option if you include Logan Thomas. You include Antonio Gibson in that equation too. But, Fitzmagic likes to air it out. He can throw it deep still somehow. And that's just year 1. Fitzpatrick's not going to be around forever. So they're going to draft a guy sometime soon. They'll sign somebody, be their quarterback, and big arm guy comes in there. You got a speedster like Dyami Brown with a not a fastest 40, but 4.46, not too bad. Make some electric plays, and for some reason they can't re-sign Terry McLaurin in the future. That's a huge window for him, but that's just all speculation. But he's a quality player here, and sort of a best of the rest here. You got Pat Freiermuth going to Steelers, Penn State. A lot of opportunity for him there. Steelers have had so much success with these second-round pass catchers. I think Chase Claypool, I think Juju, James Washington. Deontay Johnson was technically like the first or second pick in the third round, but similar situation. Pat Freiermuth is right in that same lane. If Kyle Pitts didn't exist and he wasn't an absolute freak of nature, Pat Freiermuth would be getting a lot more love. He absolutely idolized Gronk growing up. Just check some of his interviews. He's a Gronkaholic. And then I have a couple quarterbacks listed right there. Just Justin Fields, Trey Lance. They'd be some of the first guys off the board because they are slipping a little bit here, and I bet they will go off at some point in the third round. Amon-Ra St. Brown, I don't love him as a prospect, but he's going to a situation in Detroit. You can't get a better situation than that for just as far as opportunity goes. It's going to a situation where currently Detroit's receivers are Tyrell Williams, Rashad Perriman, and you got Amon-Ra St. Brown. Jared Goff's got to throw to somebody there, and TJ Hawkinson too, but I'm talking pure wide receivers. Amon-Ra has a shot. Sure, he has only 4th round draft capital, which historically speaking for receivers has not been very good. He has a chance though. Then Amari Rodgers, I really wanted to include him on this list. Didn't quite make the cut, but very versatile slot receiver from Clemson. Was one of Trevor Lawrence's high target guys. Packers picked a receiver. That says enough right there about their belief in Amari Rodgers. He's still a pretty solid athlete, despite just not having the size really to do too much. But a very intriguing option. Only ran 4.5, 140. But for only being 5'9", has probably the biggest BMI in the entire class because he weighs 212 pounds. He has a 32 BMI. Something to note. Elijah Mitchell, I mentioned him when I was talking about Trey Sermon. He'll be in that running back rotation if he makes the 49ers team. He was a 6th round pick, so definitely no guarantee of that. Chuba Hubbard, with the Panthers, he's gonna step right in there. Mike Davis, I think he's gone now. In either way, they could use a long-term replacement at that position as the backup to McCaffrey. Chuba Hubbard can be that guy, and yes, Mike Davis is gone. Chuba's play did fall off in a big way last year, but that doesn't mean he might still have some talent there to, just be a dude who'll, occasionally take a couple carries away from McCaffrey and be a decent handcuff. Nico Collins has a ton of opportunity too in Houston. The receivers, Kiki Kuti, Brandon Cooks, Randall Cobb. They don't have that young guy. This will supply that. He has good enough speed. But more than anything, he's a physical guy who can. Whoever ends up playing quarterback for him, whether Watson comes back or they turn it over to Davis Mills or maybe Tyrod plays. Who knows with that situation? But Nico Collins is a guy who's going to get an opportunity to really step in there and play a big role. And then Javion Hawkins, he was not drafted in the NFL draft. He was an undrafted free agent signing by the Falcons, But currently, the Falcons' running back room consists of Mike Davis, and that is about it. And talk up all you want about Mike Davis. He's pretty solid last year. In relief of McCaffrey, but like, do you want him as like this is our dude to anchor this electric offense we have now? Kevin Hawkins, he sort of impressed me in the pre-draft prospect just as a pure player. He certainly doesn't have the draft capital or job security that anyone else I've mentioned has, but like if he can do enough, he has an opportunity to absolutely be the first or second running back option for the Falcons, which huge upside, but absolutely incredibly low floor. So yeah, that is the round, or that is mock draft 4.0. Hope you all liked it. I did tend to ramble there, but like, I like to think I picked some quality dudes for y'all. Let me know what you think, and yeah, we'll see you draft day.